Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Executioner by me. So let's get into it. Rengaku. Rengaku wasn't really sure what to do, or how to deal with the feelings in his head. The feelings that were slowly but surely corrupting him, and every thought that he had. After all, seeing someone eyeing your beloved in such a way, it surely wasn't easy on him, and you couldn't help but want to do something. He didn't know what it may be, but he wanted to stop it and tell that guy to mind his own business and leave you alone. It was easier said than done though, and he didn't know if it would actually work out, if it would be that simple. But then he heard the comments that the guy was making about you with his friend, and that spurred him into action. In a moment or two, he had actually lunged at the guy, telling him to stay the hell away from my YN. And you could only watch in absolute confusion at what was going on in front of you. You had tried to stop him, pulling him away gently. Enough, Rengaku. It's fine, he whispered. And after a little bit of just looking at the man and watching as he walked away, he let himself breathe, wrapping his arms around you tightly. I'm sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to act so violent. I know, I know. Whatever it was, I trust you, Ringaku. I just don't like seeing you waste your energy on such undeserving people. You understand? You whisper, and he nods, because you were right about that. That scumbag. He was unworthy of his time and effort, and unworthy of your attention as well. So Rengaku let out a sigh and let himself smile, because he was not going to let some random nobody ruin your day. Michiro. Michiro was used to controlling his own emotions and trying, for the most part, to be as calm as he could be about them. After all, he didn't want to be snappy around you or get mad for no reason, even though jealousy was a bit of a reason. But he didn't want to scare you or act irrational. He could always control himself, and as long as he could, there didn't need to be any unnecessary fights. But this guy, no, it seems like he insisted on getting on his nerves, and it was like he wanted to rile him up, because he saw the way he glared at him and smiled, trying to flirt with you more, throwing more comments your way that you'd whisper to make sure to ignore. But to Michiro, he feels like he's doing everything he can just to do that, and it's not enough. So soon, he goes up to the guy and pushes him away. You better keep my hand out of your mouth, or otherwise, things will escalate, he says, and there is a clear threat in his voice. And the man in front of him thinks about it for a moment before deciding that the fight was not worth it, especially since Michiro seemed to be strong, and he seemed very willing to fight with him, and he didn't want to ruin his night. So he left, and Michiro was left staring at where he was a couple moments ago, before sighing and wrapping his arms around you. I'm sorry, darling. I didn't mean to act so out of order, but... well, you see what he was doing. I know, Michiro. I'm not mad at you. Come on, let's just enjoy our day. We don't want to let anyone ruin it like that. And at that, he smiled, because you were right. He wouldn't let some nobody ruin your day. Especially not when you were here by his side, dressed in the most adorable of clothes. After all, You were supposed to go out on a date, and you'd be late now. So, he immediately stopped thinking about it and got forward to thinking about things he'd much rather like to do with you. Tengen. Tengen was easily jealous. It was quite surprising that he could be so easily jealous. You had no idea why he was like that. And for the most part, it was shocking to see. After all, he was so self-assured, and seeing him be jealous or possessive, it felt strange on him, like it didn't particularly suit him. But something about it made your heart flutter, and he knew that he cared about you, from the way you could be so overprotective at times. Whether you liked that or not was another story, but that was your general opinion on it. And for the most time, he seemed to know how to keep himself in check. So, when someone looked at you weird, the two of you tried to ignore it. It's not because you couldn't do anything about it. You could tear him apart if so he wants. But the thing is, he doesn't want to mess up the day. But when the guy seems to have no limits and no sense in his head and reaches out to touch you, he slaps him hard enough to knock him into the ground. And the two of you stop in your tracks as you turn towards the scene, Tengen grabbing him by the shirt. You ever do that again, and it will be the last time you see the light of day. Enough. You can run now. I'll give you a chance, Tengen says, and the guy runs as fast as he can. It's almost pathetic to watch, but it truly was anyway. You just sigh, giggling softly as you wrap your arms around Tengen, leaning up to kiss him. Thank you, dear. You saved me, you say, laughing a little bit at how serious he was. And he just elbowed you gently. It's fine, Lion, and there's no need to tease me about it. I know I'm your savior. You chuckle at that, elbowing him. Don't take yourself so seriously, Tengen. Well, what would you rather I do? You looked at him, grabbing the front of his shirt, and making a move as if you were going to unbutton it, before laughing and looking away. I'll tell you about that more when you get home. Now let's go. We have shopping to do.